Alright, time now is 10:27 on March 18th. I had a terrible sleep from 3:30 to 10. So that is about, on the surface, it is 6.5 hours. Wait, 3:30 to 10, that is 6.5 hours. That's crazy, but for some reason when I did my alarm, it says less than 6 hours, so I guess it's. Huh? That's weird. So yeah, long story short, I didn't sleep, and I didn't sleep very well. Like, I woke up multiple times. And I'm tired as hell, and after I brushed my teeth, I went back to bed a little bit. It's irresistible. It's a re-sleep, and it's not really a re-sleep, but it's you know, I have to just go back to the bed and mellow out for a while first. So yeah, in about an hour, my mom's friend D will show up to pick me up, and then we're gonna go see the apartment, and then afterwards, he will directly, hopefully I'll tell him this, he'll directly drive me to the bank, and then, and then that's it. I open a bank account, and voila, I go back home. So, huge day. So last night I indeed discussed, and I discussed on the whole moving housing thing, and he told me to ask the owner of the Airbnb, of the rental apartment, Bernard, if there are any special requirements for international students. And then the more and then I indeed continued talking about stuff, and there's this whole issue that maybe this apartment is not perfect. I mean, if you look at the link, if you look at the website, the Zillow.com, if you look at the web page for this house, for this apartment, it doesn't say everything. It doesn't say that there's gas and internet. It doesn't say it has water. It doesn't say it has a bed or a table or many things. So maybe that one's gonna suck even more than this one. And so, D helped me find some other links. D helped me to D helped me find other possible rental apartments, and he asked me what's the budget, and I said preferably under 2,000. So he found one that's $1,300, and it's nothing, completely unfurnished, no bed, no table, nothing. And I said, well, I'd rather pay a little bit more just to have furniture, even though I'm the kind of person who would really, really love to save money, but the whole furniture thing, it's just such a clusterfuck. So he said, okay. So he sent me another link of a $2,600 house with all the furniture and Wi-Fi and water and gas and all that. And I said, okay, now that is a little bit over my budget. And then he told me that he thinks it doesn't make any sense to not pay $500 more just to get $1,000 worth of furniture. And I said, okay, I see. And then he said, however, even though your parents love you, I would really advise you to save money. And in my heart, I'm like, yeah, I would advise myself that too, Alright, so, yeah. I'm gonna film a Euphoria TV review. I'm gonna make myself a sandwich. So my bread, I don't know when is it gonna expire, but yesterday, when I checked the bag, it says March 16th for some fucking reason. So it's probably already expired now. RIP. And the milk is gonna expire in like 4 days, and there's still half of it. So, originally the breakfast today is cereal, but I'm gonna have to go outside and do stuff, and I won't come back home until later at 3 p.m. ish after the bank account. So I'm gonna eat cereal today afternoon as an afternoon tea, an afternoon snack. So for breakfast today, I'm actually gonna be doing a roast beef sandwich, just a simple roast beef sandwich. I'm going to get 2 slices of bread, put them in the oven, get some roast beef, put some ranch salad dressing inside. I thought about putting a piece of cabbage. You know what? That seems like a terrible idea, so I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I could cut up some cucumber and lace it in there. That's totally fine too. Yeah. All right. This is going to be my brunch. Cucumber, roasted beef. Actually, doesn't even look that bad. All right. So time now is 11:41. So D and his wife just came into the Airbnb and looked at my bedroom for a little bit, and D used the bathroom, my bathroom over there. But you know what? I don't mind. He's a nice dude. So yeah, I changed my clothes and I'm gonna just head out right now. Yeah. Okay.
$16蚊，你買個嘢飲。
All right, time now is 3:16, and oh boy. I did it, guys, I did it. Well, partially. I partially did it, yes. So, okay, it's this way, yeah. So I opened an account in Chase. I did it. And I'm not going to reveal any more information than that because I don't want people to hack into my account or anything. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna talk when I return. Okay, you know what? I'll just talk here. So, D and his wife showed up outside of my Airbnb, and after a phone call with D, he found my Airbnb and went into my bathroom and used it for a little bit. And then I changed my clothes real quick and inside my bedroom, and then I went back out, and then there we go. And they drove me to a house, to a rental house or rental apartment. And so we arrived there, and we were a bit early, so we stopped outside for about 10 minutes, and we just talked about, you know, the housing situation and the transfer situation, and you know, stuff. So finally I called the guy. I called Bernard, the owner of that rental apartment, and he's like, okay, I'm outside. So he showed up, and he's like an old European man with a, I can't quite tell what accent. I think Italian accent or something. Italian accent, it could be a Spanish accent, it could be a Portuguese accent, but it was something of the sort. Or maybe a Russian accent, I don't know. But it was an old guy with a suit who has a very deadpan attitude, and who isn't into pleasantries, who isn't nice, very straight to the point. He's, you know, he's like Mike from Breaking Bad. He's like tired of the bullshit of the world kind of attitude. And so yeah, I went into the rental house, and at that point another woman was living in there, a little bit kind of fat, actually, fat woman with short hair living in there, and it's a mess. But I basically went in to look, and yeah, so it's okay. It's an okay house. I mean, obviously it's not as big as the whole Airbnb I live in right now, and it's nowhere near as big as my second host nor the first host, but it's nice for a little personal place. It's all to me. So I asked the owner, is it shared? And he's like, how like, and the owner, Bernard, he's like, how are you supposed to share? Like, it's your room. Okay, fine. So I walked around, and it's just nothing. It's a bedroom, a kitchen, and a bathroom, and that's it. And yeah, it's nice. And then I asked, how about the gas, Wi-Fi? And then he's like, oh yeah, Wi-Fi is included. And I said, is there water? And he's like, water? What do you mean water? And I said, no, like in the sink, and he's like, yeah, of course there's water. You pay for an apartment. Have you been to an apartment with no water? And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, that being said though, there are a few issues. So I left the house, and he brought me to a little spot outside of the house, and guess what? It's the washing machine and drying machine. And it's another one of those public washing machine and drying machines, except this time, instead of having to pay $2.5, it's $1.75. Fuck. Why? I don't want to do that. Especially for my pajamas and my shower towels. I can never wash that in a public washing machine and drying machine. I'm just not, I don't like that. Okay. And then afterwards, I asked if there's aircon. Actually, a little bit before that, I asked if there's aircon, and he's like, no. But it's fine. That is a nice little cool spot. And then I was trying to look at my list on my phone, because I have a list of things, but the list is too long. I mean, it's everything from tables to closets to eating utensils and stovetops. But I remember desks and tables. They're essential. They're essential furniture. So I asked, and the guy said, no, there are no desks and tables. The ones in the room, that's hers. So unless you want to buy from her, and maybe she would sell for free, I don't know. But there are no desks or tables, and that's, I don't know, kind of an issue. Like, that's kind of an issue, because that's kind of a huge issue, because desks and tables and chairs, that's important. And yeah, I mean, I can just buy them, but Jesus Christ, you know? So that's that. And on top of that, I'm not sure if I can stay in this place super long. And most important of all, it's a 1-year lease thing. If I want to rent the place, I need to sign a 1-year lease, meaning that I will have to stay here permanently for 1 year, which means that, say, next winter, next Christmas holiday, if I go back to Hong Kong, I still need to pay the month's rent, which is expensive and a waste. And I can't say no, because I've already signed the goddamn contract. So that's kind of an issue. The good thing is, I still have a lot of time. I still have like 2 weeks time to look for a new place. And even if I can't, I can still continue to stay in my Airbnb. It's not a huge issue, it's just expensive. So there's that. Okay, afterwards, D, his wife, and I left in the car, and we still have an entire hour's time. It was still 12:10. Is it? Oh yeah, it's right here. Whoa, what? I just noticed. Okay. Chinese characters, holy shit. Okay. You know, I'll take a picture, hold on.
So yeah, I holy shit, that's it can't be any Chinese. It's got to be like Cantonese or maybe Taiwanese. A little cafe. If I continue living here, I could legitimately work there, and it's coming soon. So it's, you know, it's in the scraps. It's beginning. So if I stay here, I could actually go there. That's cool. Okay. Anyways, so D, his wife, and I went to the car at 12:10, and then we still have over an hour until a bank appointment at 1:30. So you know what? Let's just go to a nearby place to have a coffee or something. So we drove to Madokai Market, which is a Japanese supermarket that I've never been to. We had a look, and D's like, "Do you want to buy anything?" And I'm like, "Nah." And then we left. We went into the car again, and we went to another spot called Mitsuwa Market. And it's sort of a hybrid between a supermarket and a food court. And it's all Japanese food there. So there's ramen, takoyaki, tempura. It's quite amazing, actually. And I went there, and I wanted to just order something because I had a roast beef sandwich this morning. That's a lot. So I just want to eat something light and simple. God damn it. So yeah, I found this $16 I found this takoyaki, and I thought to myself, okay, it's just a snack, right? Takoyaki. So I ordered a takoyaki, and that's like, okay, Jesus Christ, and that's like $6. But I also wanted something to drink, so I ordered a milk tea, and the guy said, okay, there's no more milk tea. So I said, okay, mango milk. So mango milk with tapioca bubbles and takoyaki, and it tastes good, and it's way larger of a portion than I thought, and altogether it's $16 including tax and tips. 6 fucking teen. That is 132 Hong Kong dollars. Jesus, I'm only here for a snack. So yeah, I honestly didn't even expect myself to have time for lunch today. So I guess tonight for dinner I'm gonna eat a little bit less to save up on money and food, because I already ate a lot. But wow. Okay, and D and his wife got this chicken cutlet plate thing, and you know, it's probably even cheaper than mine. Well, and we shared a little bit too. So D gave me a piece of his chicken to me, and D's wife gave a piece of her chicken to me, and then I gave a takoyaki to her and one to him. All right. After the meal, it was about 1:14. So we drove to the Chase Bank near my Airbnb, and then they dropped me off, and then they're gone. And okay, so the second host, Mr. C, he finally sent a $903 check to me, and yeah, and D received it, and D basically, I just remembered that I forgot to give the check to the bank. Okay, I didn't even think that it would work. But anyways, so I went to the bank, Chase. I went in there, strolling in there, dropped my little plastic bottle of mango milk, of finished mango milk, into the rubbish bin. Went in there, and I waited and waited and waited. So my appointment is supposed to be on 1:30, but I had to wait until 2:11 p.m. until the guy's like, okay, it's your turn. I'm sorry for being late. He's not late, he just has another customer to deal with, another client to deal with. Okay, fine, I have all the time in the world. So I sat down And for the next hour, I opened a bank account all by myself. Remember how, like, after I opened a bank account at BOA with my mom and my aunt and JT accompanying me, I was like, damn, like, JT is gonna open her account alone, and I have so much support. Like, I feel grateful, but I feel like a baby. Well, guess what, bitch? I just opened a bank account all by myself, and it's not that difficult. And the guy's nice. The guy sitting across me, he's nice, and we did a little small chat, you know, like, god damn it, seriously, you know, he's nice. We did a little small chat, and you know, he's like, oh, so you're from Hong Kong, is it inside China or something? He said he thought Hong Kong is a city in China, and I said, well, it's complicated, you know, it's a special administrative region, but we have our own government, passport, currency. And he's like, oh, you learn something new every day. But yeah, it's nice. And he asked me, like, have you had fun? Like, you're a college student, like, did you eat any good food here in LA? Like, do you miss anything back at home in Hong Kong? And he asked me if I have a sibling, stuff like that. And yeah, at the end, we shook hands on it. We opened an account, a checking and a saving, and voila! And now I'm here, trying to go back home. So, completely missed the chemistry Zoom class, but I don't care. So, again, let's look at my life here like a video game. For level 1, it's food, shelter, and college grades, and college transfer. Oh, I forgot to mention that this morning I received an email from the IEC. Okay, so a couple of days ago I received an email from the IEC telling me to ask the counselors of the IEC. So I had to go to the counselor website and copy and paste my email and send it. This morning, I finally received an email from the IEC counselors, and they said that the 60 to 90 units are transfer units, so I actually don't have to worry about taking too many classes, and I can also just request for you know, reduced workload, so less than 12 units. Yeah, I could do that. I'm gonna go back home, look at my Google spreadsheet, and design for myself how I'm gonna take exactly 22 more units, or I could do more research on it. All right, time now is 3:52. Couple more updates. Just came back to the Airbnb. The moment I came back, I saw Howard, the hospital dude. And he said, yeah, I saw him, and he's like, oh, hi, Enoch. And then I said, I want to do the laundry, and, you know, I don't know where to. And he said, okay, let's have a look-see. He said, let's have a look-see. I'll bring you there. So he showed me where's the laundry room. And oh shit, it's really far away. And to go there, you have to trek across asphalt and dust. And that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. But yeah, I guess I have to do it, and I kind of want to do it today because I don't want to do it tomorrow, because I mean I can do it tomorrow. I mean, it wouldn't be a huge deal, but you know, yeah, I don't want to. So yeah, I want to do it today then, and oh my god, I hate this. See, this is the issue with the house that I just saw. I like a small space with Wi-Fi, but
God, the washing machine, the drying machine is outside of the house. Are you kidding me? And you have to pay money to do it. And I know that it's the cheaper way to do it. If you want to rent an apartment that has an in-unit dryer and washer, it's more expensive. As opposed to, paying like $4 a week to wash clothes in a public washer and dryer. I get it. But still, Jesus. Like, all sorts of people use the same washing machine. It's dirty as hell. And as a germaphobe, I don't want to do that, especially from pajamas. So here's the thing, man. I'm not going to wash my pajamas at all. For 1 month straight, I'll change my pajamas maybe next week or maybe tomorrow, but I won't wash it. I'll keep it in another bag. I won't wash my shower towel at all. I'll use the same one for 1 month. I know it's extreme, but extreme times, extreme measures. And ever since I've got here in LA, every time is an extreme time. It's been nothing but extremity. And then, yeah, I'm gonna wash my street clothes and my underwear. Ooh, fuck me in the pussy. And another issue is I have to go out, and not just a little bit out, like really out. And after that, I have to come back home and wash my face. But here's the thing, man. It's a washing machine and a drying machine, which means that I'm going to have to bring my clothes out, put it in the washing machine, come back home, go out, transfer it from the washing machine to the drying machine, come back, and then go back out, get stuff from the drying machine, and back and forth. Because I don't have a basket. I don't have a laundry basket. I can't just put all my clean clothes in a basket and then transfer it with exposed dust and asphalt in the air all across for a whole 2 minutes back into my Airbnb, open the door, close the door, wash my hands again, and then bit by bit. I don't even have a fucking laundry basket. So the only thing I could do is I'm going to spend 2 minutes or 3 minutes walking from this room all the way outside the door, all the way outside to the other side to dry and to grab my clean, dry clothes bit by bit, and then with my bare hands exposed to the air, even more exposed, full of dust and asphalt, rush back here 2 minutes, and then put it in a closet, and then ran back out again, all while in street clothes. That is the only fucking god fucking soul fucking ocean I can think of. And that's irritating as fuck. I want to crush my balls thinking about it. So, I don't know. I guess finding a plastic bag would be optimal. But then again, I don't have a big plastic bag that can do that. Do I? Jesus. Yeah. Okay, so I did the math. So I will never wash my clothes again here, okay? I'm gonna wash once, and then that's it. It's fucking over, okay? It's fucking over. I will not wash again. So this means that 2 things. One, after I wash today, so okay, right here it's till April 6th, till April 5th. So right now it's March 18th. How many days is it? 31 minus 18 plus 1. That is 14. Right. 14 plus 5. That's 20. That's 19. So I will wear the same clothes for 19 days. Now I have 3 long shirts. Actually, I have some short shirts. I can get creative. But if I wash today, then I will have to hang on for 19 days, and then I will have bags of dirty clothes. And I will need to find another plastic bag. But I will have bags of dirty clothes, 2 huge bags. And those 2 big bags of dirty clothes will be transported to my new place. Or I don't have to wash it today then. If I'm worried about not having enough time to last 19 days of completely not washing any clothes, I could perhaps wait for a few more days, maybe next Monday. So I'm just gonna rest up today. That's it. It's enough for me today. It's real enough, man. yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, and that's it. So okay, the plan. I'm gonna do the laundry next Monday then. So next Monday is, or okay, so tomorrow. Do I wanna? No. So yeah, next Monday it would be 19, 20, 21. It will be March 21st. And then so 20 from 21st it'll be 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31st, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 16 days. I can hang on for 16 days. 16 days is about 4 shirts. I can do 3 shirts. 16 days, 3 shirts, totally fine. And on the day I wash, I will be wearing 1 already. So let's count that as well. 4 shirts. Okay, okie dokie. Monday laundry then. Alright, I did some calculations. You know what? Let's not do it next Monday. Because here's the thing. On Sunday, I will go to church. And if I go to church on Sunday, I will need to wear street clothes. And to do that, I don't want to wear the one I just wore. I'm going to wear this one, this blue one. Yes, I've been wearing this for the last 13 days maybe. No, well, I've been wearing this for like 10 days already. And also these pants, I'll be wearing these. Because they're dirty and they can be completely discarded. And, what logic was that? Right, because if I wash on Monday, then this means I'll have to keep wearing the one I just wore on Sunday. Which is actually fine, come to think of it. Yeah, I guess it's fine, but I was just thinking that on Sunday I should wear a new one, a new set, and then carry on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and maybe even Friday, and then on Saturday a new set. But yeah, next Monday, yeah. Alright guys, it's 8:05, I'm cooking dinner. Nicely packed 4 pieces of chicken thighs here. I took 1 big piece here, and then for the smaller piece, I painfully cut a piece out. Seasoned it, hammered it. Potatoes, boiling. Cabbage, cut. Ziploc bag, ready. Right. Maybe I have to put my lid on again. The oil almost burnt this finger. Almost. It just exploded. I don't know what's going on. Alright, it's 8:40. Lunch is served. Bit smaller portion, but you know what? That's totally fine because I had a good lunch. So good lunch means, you know, not so good dinner, but you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, let's try the chicken thighs. This is the first time cooking chicken thighs in my whole life. Let's turn on these lights. Alright. I fried it really hard at the end and it popped and it almost got stuck to the pan because I want the crispy skin. But at last, the skin, not that crispy, but I tried. That's what matters. Alright. God damn it. Alright, cheers. Turns out the inside is a little bit raw, so right now I'm cooking it a little bit more. Alright, time now is 11:42 p.m. So, well, about 9:30, I guess. I finished dinner, and I was gonna bring back everything to my room, the oil, salt, pepper right here, and I was gonna bring back my phone here, wipe up, and then change my clothes. And the German woman showed up, and she's like, "Hi," and then she asked me if she could exchange money, exchange one $20 bill with some other dollar bills, and I'm like, okay, sure. So I found four $5 bills in my small money bag, and I gave it to her, and she gave me a $20 bill. All right, and then afterwards we continued to chat for like half an hour, which I wish it was shorter. I wanted to be like, okay, I got homework to do. See you tomorrow, but every single time the conversation kept on, and I don't know where to interject. So it just went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. She's a really talkative person, but she's really nice, and I've never seen a German. Well, it's not like I've seen a lot of German people, but there's a stereotype that German people are all deadpan. Well, to be fair, she's like Southern, so I don't know. Anyways, it's a stupid stereotype. No, we talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and we mostly talked about, So she asked me again, what are my plans for the weekend? It's a very suspicious question. Like, what do you want to do? Hang out with me? Come on, seriously? This dude? So, okay, fine. So, yeah, I told her, tomorrow I got film class tomorrow morning, and then on Sunday morning I will have to go out, and then there's lunch. And she said she wants to go hiking this Sunday, and she's gonna leave. After this Airbnb, she's gonna straight up go back to Germany. And she said she wants to go hiking on Sunday, and she's also free on Monday. Like today, apparently, is her last day in office. So, like, she doesn't need to do anything anymore. And she doesn't want to take a rest either. Like, she just wants to go everywhere. So, on Sunday, she wants to go hiking. And we talked a lot about, how dangerous LA is, but also how much fun this place is. She talked about a time when she took a bus, and the bus driver went crazy and started yelling at random strangers, telling a certain stranger, that he looks like a bulldog. For some reason, he looks like a pit bull, a bulldog, and then the bus driver stopped the bus and opened the door and yelled at a random stranger. And sometimes the bus driver would just stop randomly. Sometimes the bus driver would skip bus stops. Everybody got out. At some point, the bus driver told everyone to get out, but the German woman, she didn't get out because she thought the outside was dangerous. She thought she was in Skid Row. And so she remained in the bus, and she asked the bus driver very kindly to take her somewhere else. And the bus driver actually did. And then the bus driver just left, and it was just a really weird experience. But yeah, and then she talked about how she likes going hiking. She even pulled out her phone. She took her phone and showed me some photos on her Instagram, like hey, these are the places I've been to, like this Griffith Observatory. This place is the Getty, and this is the Hollywood sign. Like, it's a good hike, and she wants to hike to the Hollywood sign this Sunday. And she asked me that if I want to, I could join her. So she's basically inviting me out for a hike, even though I barely know her and she barely knows me. It's interesting, but let's be honest here. And I even asked her, are you alone in the hike? Is it just like you and then me? And she said, yeah. Originally, a friend was gonna be with me, but the friend's busy, so. And I don't know what to say. I mean, honestly, I kind of don't want to, because on Sunday, I'm gonna be extremely tired. Because I'll sleep less tonight, aka tomorrow morning, and then for Sunday morning, I'll sleep even less, because I have to wake up super early to go to the church in Chinatown. So I'm gonna probably be really tired. But on Monday, I'm really free. So I guess Monday's possible, but then again, it's really weird. I barely know her. She barely knows me. It's just a really strange thing. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. I don't know. But yeah, there's that, and not much else happened. So I'm supposed to start watching a movie like an hour ago, but I didn't because I'm lazy. And originally I wanted to again do some college studying, but then again I didn't do any of that today because I'm lazy. Um, and yeah, I don't have much else to say or talk about. I think what am I thinking? There's an apple in the fridge. I can eat that tomorrow night. I just remembered that. I don't know. It's still not over. Level 1 is still not over. I still have to find shelter. And it's a good thing that there are more options now. There are more time now, not options, but still, it's getting slim. And again, the whole washer and dryer in unit thing, it's actually quite rare in LA. But I really just cannot stand washing machine and drying machines being out in the public. I just can't stand it. I actually cannot stand it. So I don't know what to do. I really don't. So once I get this whole college thing settled, um, the whole transfer thing. I mean, not the whole university application thing, but the plan settled first. I'm gonna start working on friendship level 2. In fact, I want to watch the Batman and Jujutsu Kaisen Zero in the cinemas, in the Landmark cinema. I don't want to watch it in AMC because AMC is $18 per ticket. 18. That's fucking insane. The most expensive movie ticket I've ever bought is $108 for Drive My Car, and that is still nowhere near as 18 US dollars for a freaking Batman movie in AMC. LA is insane, but Landmark is a little bit cheaper. Landmark is $14, so $4, not bad, not bad at all. $4 is like, $4 is a loaf of bread, So yeah, I'll see if I can invite people to watching cinema tomorrow morning, like watching movies in the cinema. I'll see if I can do that. But that's insane. Some random Hong Konger ass dude. But I'll try. I mean, the past few Saturdays have been really satisfying. I hope tomorrow's just as satisfying, if not more. And I hope I really do make friends. I lost like 4 Instagram followers on my public account. I don't know what happened, nor do I really care at this point. But I just want to pump those numbers back up. You know what I mean? Yeah. There we go. Also, I don't know how it got there, but at some point in the conversation, what happened? How did we get there? So when I and the German woman we're having a discussion, we're having a conversation, we started talking about English, right? So she said, "Oh, sorry, my English is really bad," and I said, "Oh, it's not bad. No, it's not." And then I said, "Well, my English is weird sometimes too." And then she asked, "Really? I thought everybody in Hong Kong speaks English." And I said, "Not really. All the young people learn English at school, but the older people, they usually don't." And then she said, "Wow, your English is really good." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." And then she said, "Oh, when I was in school, I had to learn German, English, and French. Some other schools teach Latin, but it's not useful." And then I said, "Oh, in my secondary school, in my school, we study English and Chinese." And I thought of like, how should I answer it? Because there is no separate Cantonese class. There is no such thing as a Cantonese class or a Cantonese lesson. And then she said, "Oh, but you speak Cantonese, right? Not Chinese, right?" And then I had to explain to her. So, Cantonese is a kind of Chinese. Mandarin is a kind of Chinese, and there are many other kinds. And then she said, "Oh, I see." She said, when she went to Peking or Beijing, nobody understood her because nobody spoke English other than like 5 people. But when she went to Hong Kong, like everybody could speak English. And she said, she asked me if I can understand like other dialects of Chinese, and I said, yeah, I can understand like half of Mandarin if it's slow, but others, no. And then she asked me, okay, so what are your relationship with China? And by your, I mean Hong Kong. She means Hong Kongers. And she said, oh yeah, because there's some conflict and stuff. And I said, yeah, the relationship is not very good, especially with young people, including me, honestly. So there's that. All right, so fuck. Time now is 7:29 a.m. in the morning on March 19th. Yeah. So this is a problem because I went to bed very early. At around 3:15-ish, and I didn't fall asleep immediately, but relatively quickly, and so woke up at 7:15, actually a little bit earlier than the alarm, just maybe 7, so that is less than 4 hours. God damn it. God frickin' damn it. So you know what, tomorrow I'm going to sleep a little more, and I'm going to see if it's possible to, skip the morning session and go directly to the Bible study fellowship. Yeah. Alright, so my phone is already running out of storage space again for some friggin' reason. So I gotta be quick with this. I'm gonna use a pair of scissors to trim my mustache a little bit because it's getting a little ridiculous. And then I'm gonna eat 1 raisin and oatmeal cookie from here, and then I'm just gonna go out. I don't have much time left. Alright, time now is 1:42 p.m. Yes, my class actually finishes at 12:05, but after the class, me, Ella the white girl, Eric the Filipino boy, Christian, and Miles, we just stood around and we talked to each other for like 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I kept standing. I never sat down, and it was it's not that tiring, actually. I don't know how did I manage to stand for so long, but holy shit, I actually stood up for so long, and that's insane. But yeah, it's a nice class, I guess. So a few people didn't come today. The Mexican girl nor the Mexican boy came, so I couldn't really speak to them. But yeah, still a few people came. Like a few people didn't come, so most came back. And then we had the class. Before class, I didn't speak to anyone. After class, during break, the usuals, really, I am with the main people. The main people, I guess, in a sense, with Eric, the Filipino, with Ella, with just the main people, just stood around, spoke to them about just regular things. I kind of want to get to know people more, especially Ella and the Mexican boy. And Ella talked about how how she listens to rap music. And then after the class, so during class, I was actually really sleepy today.
I was extremely sleep deprived. It's bad. But I didn't fall asleep at all. Like, I still paid attention, but for some reason I got called on by the professor. Like, I became a bad student or something. Okay, Eric is being called on the most. Like, Eric is basically has become the black swan of the class for some reason, even though he pays attention a lot. But the professor is beginning to call on me more and more. Like, at one point he asked me a question, and he asked me you know, if we shoot in 12 frames but played back in 24 frames, what's gonna happen? And I hear his question, but I was genuinely unclear on what he's trying to say. So he asked me if I need to repeat the if he needs to repeat the question, and I said, yeah, can you repeat the question? And he said, yep. I knew it, as if I didn't pay attention at all, but I did. And then a little bit later he asked me, like, Enoch, you understand? And I'm like, yeah. But clearly I was paying attention. I don't mind this professor. He's strict, but it's fine. And I'm gonna raise my hands more, just to impress him back. I tried to actually. Today I tried to raise my hands more and impress him back, but didn't really work because he didn't really call on me when I raised my hands. Okay, and then after the class, I just stood around. I really desperately need to sit down, and then I'm gonna cook myself a simple lunch, and then I'm gonna do the laundry, or actually I could do that on Monday. That's fine too. And yeah. All right, so time now is 2:01 p.m. Let's continue. So yeah, it's been quite an interesting day so far. It's quite interesting. So again, during break, last Saturday, I have 3 leads, right? I have 3 leads. 3 leads. That's weird, but like, for fuck's sakes, my backpack fell off. Okay. Now I need to wash my hands again because my backpack dirty. But last Saturday, there were several people who can potentially become a friend of mine. Ella, the white girl, Christian, Eric, and Alan, the Mexican guy. So Alan didn't come today. So during break, I really, really wanted to initiate. Sometimes people would be having conversations like, oh, when I was in high school, there was this like crazy like movie club, and I couldn't relate at all because this is such American thing. But I try my best, and I really want to watch movies. So I talked to Eric about Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and I said, like, if you want to watch it, maybe we can watch together. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then in the same break, I spoke to Christian, and I asked him, have you watched Batman? And I don't want to ask too many times because I don't want to come off clingy. So I asked, so have you watched Batman last week? And he said, no, I haven't. And I said, oh, me too. And then I said, and I tried to reason, and I said, okay, so since I'm new in LA, I came here like 2 months ago, and I don't know anywhere, like maybe you know, and you probably know this place a little more, like maybe we can watch together. And he's like, yeah, sure. And he was gonna ask me for my number, but I asked, oh, you got Discord, right? And he's like, yeah, Discord is fine. So it's whatever, it'd be nice to have his number, but it's fine. And then after class, things start to take for an interesting turn. So I feel like I'm in the not popular, but the main group of people, the core group. So it's really just me, Eric, Christian, and Ella, just 4 of us. But at some point we were actually like, I didn't join in, but
But basically, Miles was acting really weird today and last week because I guess he's just very caffeinated, and he just acts really weird. Like he acts, he's like this, and sometimes he comes off a little aggressive, like don't you talk to me like that, and in a joking manner, but like what you say, don't talk to me like that. Um, and like at some point we were just laughing at her. And this high school girl Tatiana, she joined us temporarily. So me, Eric, Ella, and Christian, us four, we were standing outside of the gate of the campus. So we were just standing there for like 80 minutes, 90 minutes. And it's insane. So we were just standing there and for like 5 minutes, Tatiana, the high school girl, came and she said, "Oh, so Miles and some other people are having this discussion, this film discussion, and it's just so much film bro energy. And Miles is acting weird. Miles is being very confrontational and weird, and it's just like I just can't stand it." And so she left, and we're like, yeah, he's very weird. And then a little bit later, Miles joined us and join us for the rest of the conversation for like the next half an hour. And so yeah, at first it was a little bit awkward, but I didn't make a huge fuss out of it. And I know everybody tried their best to not make a huge fuss about it. And it's unpredictable that Miles is now the one who a lot of people kind of dislike. But a little bit later, Miles said, "Oh, I'm sorry if I come off a little impulsive because I have severe ADHD." And judging by the looks of it, he might be correct. That might be true. He may actually have ADHD, given how he acts. So let's talk about conversation topics. So yeah, I have two leads now with Christian and Eric, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Right now, I'd like to talk about what our main conversation is in that entire 90-minute period. In the conversation, we talked about everything, like literally everything, from music to religion to politics to philosophy to just random film stuff, monster trucks. We talked about movies in general. We talked about fashion, like dresses, jeans. We talked about sleeping. We literally talked about everything. We talked about GTA. We talked about video games. So at first it started off with video games. The conversation started off with Eric, Ella, and Christian just talking about PS4, PS5, PSP, and I'm not a huge video game person, and I don't know what they're talking about half the time. And then a little bit later, I guess, the topic just naturally changed, and I listen for the most part, but whenever I have something to say, it's like nice, I don't come off awkward at all. Like I'm actually fitting in. It's actually amazing. But yeah, and then we talked about the parking garage, the parking lot, the car park of that campus, like how weird the gate is because the gate's closed all the time unless somebody tries to open it from the inside. And again, I can't really relate because I don't drive, and in America you can drive after you're 16. Well, guess what? I haven't learned how to drive yet. Yeah, and we talked a little bit about movies, like the movie we had to watch last week, Once Upon a Time in Anatolia, and I was like, yeah, it's really slow. And I talked about In the Mood for Love because the movie to watch next week is In the Mood for Love, which is great because I've watched it already, which means I don't have to watch it. Yay! Just kidding. I will still watch it because I love that movie. But we talked about that a little bit, and I said, okay, In the Mood for Love is also really slow, but it's really good because it's more about the vibes rather the story. And Ella talked to me. Ella's like, oh, my friend said she really likes it. No, Ella said she hasn't watched it, but she really wants to, and Ella said that her friend doesn't like it and thinks it's overrated. And I said, well, I don't think it's a good like beginner Wong Kar-wai film. The first film should be Chungking Express. Which is something that I actually wanted to talk about during class today when the professor talked about how, shutter speed and all that, and I wanted to raise my hand and ask about Chungking Express just to impress the professor, like, hey, I got good taste in films, yeah, there's that. And yeah, and then we just proceed to talk about literally everything. And yeah, Miles joined in, and Miles like, Enoch, how's it going? And literally before even greeting anyone else, the moment he joined us circle, I'm the first person he greets. And I think that's because last week I and Miles like said goodbye to each other and had a very great conversation about the horrids of the Chinese government. So he's like, Enoch, how's it going? And other people heard knockhead, and so they were laughing like, what? Like you were calling him knockhead? And Miles was like, no, 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 no. No, he wasn't like this. He's like, no, you're wrong. I didn't call him that. I'm not powerful enough to give people nicknames. And then we continued, and Christian suddenly asked me like, have you read the Book of Enoch? And I'm like, you mean the book that's left out of the Bible? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh wow, I haven't, but I really want to. So I said that. I said, oh, I haven't, but I really want to. That's the book that's left out of the Bible, right? Oh wow, it's so interesting with fallen angels. And it's such a niche topic. Like you wouldn't think some random film student would know about this. So I actually told Christian, like, you're actually the first person I've ever met who knows about the Book of Enoch. And that's really interesting. And so, just more and more interesting shit. And we talked about classes here. We talked about the professor. We talked about being called on botany. We talked about plants. Like Ella, for some reason, randomly started talking about baby palm trees and how trees grow from the inside out or outside in. And we talked about botany and how difficult it is. And yeah, it's a lot of conversation, man. It's a lot of conversing. And at some point, Miles talked about his sleep schedule. No, we talked about our sleep schedule because we have an assignment where we have to take a photo of an object at the same spot in 3 hour intervals for like half a day or something, which is insane. And the professor's like, no, you got to start taking photos at 6 a.m. And I was like, man, it's brutal because I can't wake up that early. And um yeah, and we started talking about sleep schedule. Like Ella's like, yeah, I'm not a morning, I like morning, but I'm too lazy to wake up. And then Miles talked about sleeping schedules and how he goes to bed wearing jeans. And Christian talked about how, okay, humans are really weird, like we have to wear specific clothes to go to bed. And Miles like, I wear jeans to bed. And we're all like, jeans, you wear jeans to bed? That's insane. And so we started talking about clothes, like, oh, jeans are so uncomfortable, but suits are nice. And then Ella talks about dresses and how comfortable they are. And she's like, I know you guys won't be able to relate to it, but like dresses are so comfortable. And okay, right, at some point, I talked about Hong Kong because I gotta talk about it from time to time. Um, I don't know, what did I say? What did I say? Um, right, I said I talked about cinemas. I think again. Um, oh yeah, we talked about A24, and Ella. I thought Ella's the kind of basic Californian white girl, and maybe she is, but she legit likes movies. Like I can tell. Like she watches The Lighthouse, she watches Train Spotting, she watches A24 movies, and we talked about A24, and she said she believes that 2017 to 2018 is peak A24, and I'm like, yeah, like Florida Project, Hereditary, and then I said, yeah, and she said, oh, I watched all those films in the theaters, and I said, well, back in Hong Kong, I can't because A24 doesn't distribute movies in Hong Kong, and she's like, wow, that sucks, and I said, yeah, I too watch it on my computer. And Ella asked me, okay, really? So when's the last time you went back to Hong Kong? And I'm like, no, like I was in Hong Kong the whole time. And Christian's like, yeah, he's actually literally from Hong Kong. Not only is he Asian, but also actually for real Asian. No, he didn't say that, but that's what he meant. And Ella's kind of surprised, like, wow, you're from Hong Kong? Like, but when's the last time you came here? Like, you were there. And I said, well, 2 months ago. And she's like, wow, wow, that's crazy. You seem really zen. You seem really chill. Like you're really well adjusted. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I said, well, I still got some adjusting to do. And then Eric's like, yeah, we all do. So that's really amazing because I'm not American, but with my accent and my knowledge of the culture, like I can just blend in, man. Like it's actually, I'm honestly quite impressed. But yeah, randomly I asked Ella about, like, I saw her checking her Apple Watch on her right hand, and immediately I'm like, hold on, right hand? So I asked out loud, like, are you right-handed or left-handed? And she said, oh, right-handed. Oh, no, 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 I'm wrong. Actually, I'm originally left-handed. She said a word like misdestric or something. I've never heard of that word before, but I think it means like being right-handed and left-handed at the same time. And so that's really cool. And Miles was there, and Miles talked about, oh yeah, in the military, a lot of people have to train to be left-handed and right-handed at the same time. And Christian's like, yeah, to hold guns and stuff. And then he started talking about military strategies, and we actually talked about literally everything. And because Miles here, we talked about politics a little bit, like about what? I don't know. We talked about music, like playlists and stuff, and like 2010s nostalgia. Oh yeah, we were talking about like coats and how like 70s fashion is making comeback. Also 80s fashion, also 90s fashion, also 2000s fashion, also 2010s fashion. They're all making a huge comeback. And then talked about music, like, oh yeah, 2010s. Christian said 2010s party playlists are so fire, so hard, such bops. And then Miles talked about how, yeah, actually they're war music too, because 2010s music is technically Iraqi war. And then I said, well, music nowadays can be called war music as well, because there's a war right now. And Miles talked about how like they're Ukrainian rappers, and he talked about how the conflict already started in 2014, and I said, yeah, in Crimea. And then Miles like, yeah, in Luhansk, Donetsk, and I'm sure anyone else who heard this would be like, wow, okay, I get it. You can speak a little Ukrainian. But I know Luhansk and Donetsk. I actually know what he's talking about. I just don't know the third spot. But yeah, just thick, dense conversation. And just at the end, there were so many moments where I was like, you know what? Like, I'm thinking maybe I should just leave. Like, I should just say, oh, I gotta go, bye-bye. But all five of us, we were just standing there, and if I suddenly leave, it's awkward. Like, even if I say something, and B, I kind of want to still hang on and hear what they talk about. So it was until a garbage truck showed up, and it smelled really bad, and we were like running away. And then Miles was like, okay, you know what? I'm running late. I have to go now. And then we're like, bye. And then I left. So yeah, and then a little bit later, it's just me and Miles, and he had to unlock his bike from a bike rack. And, we're like, yeah, okay, bye-bye. And then that's it. And I was talking about how, he asked me if I've been on any sets, because Miles is like very, very filmmaker type guy. Like, he actually makes tons of short films. He worked as a first AC for some TikToker in a place called The Valley, and then he worked as a director on a short film. Like, he just gets called on all day, every day. And he asked me if I've gone on any sets, and I'm like, does short films count? And he's like, yeah. And I said, oh yeah, I made a couple short films back in Hong Kong. And I also said I was an actor in a couple commercials when I was a kid. And I talked about how I went to a drama club in secondary school, aka theater club in middle school plus high school. And he said, oh yeah, I know what secondary school is. I'm a British citizen. So yeah, that's that. I know it's a lot. It's a dense conversation, but I genuinely made a lot of I wouldn't say friends, but a lot of connections. I did way better than I thought. Like, I didn't stand out at all. I didn't come off cringe at all. I'm actually quite amazing. And I have 2 leads now. So I have so making friends is almost like investing. Like, I talked to Eric about watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I talked to Christian on watching Batman, and maybe both of them will fail, maybe one of them will succeed, maybe both of them will succeed, but either way, I've put my bets, and I have to put more. The more the better, because the more I put bets on, the more I ensure I win. But then again, I can't put too much bets on making friends, because what if most of them succeed in moving forward in this friendship development, and is like too much for me to handle. Yeah, again, the conversation is really dense. We talked about GTA a little bit, and then Miles talked about GTA 5,
where a lot of people, like a lot of the aspects of the game are changed bit by bit, so it's completely different from the original already. And then Christian's like, oh yeah, the ship of Thesis or something, and I was gonna say that, oh, the boat metaphor. So yeah, it's a really weird conversation that ranges from intellectual to downright stupid. But yeah, it's really fun. We talked about the aux cord, and I joked around saying, Miles said, "Oh, when people pass me the aux cord, people just go." And thank God I know what an aux cord is. It's such an American term, but I know what it is, and I'm like, haha, lol, play podcasts on it, and everybody laughed. And I joked around. I said Industrial Revolution and its consequences, and Miles get the reference, the meme. So yeah, it's very funny. And it's 2:19 now. I'm gonna cook myself a tomato egg scrambled egg omelet thing, and then I'll eat a cookie. Maybe I'll have soup, cheddar cheese soup. I don't know. Alright, here we go. That's lunch. Tomato scrambled eggs, 2 eggs by the way, and cheddar cheese soup. Hopefully it tastes good. Man, it just tastes like watered down melted cheese. Why? Alright, it's 7:26 and I'm gonna cook dinner now. It'll be pork chop. I'll be finishing all the pork chops. Ragu spaghetti, and originally I planned to do cabbage and cucumber stir fry, but you know what? I'm just gonna fry some spinach and finish that garlic. Yep, garlic fried spinach. And then that's it. So it's a lot of frying, right? So I'm gonna boil water here. And then start cooking the pork chop here. And then that's the plan. This might actually be the most difficult dinner I have to deal with yet, because all 3 of the stuff I need to make, the vegetables, the meat, and the pasta, all 3 of them also need cooking, and all 3 of them also take time, especially the meat and the pasta. So I used up all my pasta, and I will put some of that in my plastic box. But I have 1 lid, and I will occasionally switch from this to this. Alright, just spoke to Howard, the hospital dude. He left for dinner. Cooking the pork chop still. Almost forgot to season this. And I moved this pot over here. I know there's some residual spaghetti, but it's too much. Clearly, I have more spaghetti than the sauce. So I really need to do something about this. But I'm going to cook it right here. And there goes my pork chop. Added some water here. Tap water, I know, but who cares? Trying to clean up this jar, and yep, that's it. I'm throwing this away. Alright, all set. Time now is 8:05. I got the final pork chop, the final spaghetti, final garlic with some fried spinach, drenched in oil, unfortunately. And looks nice, honestly. This is the best pork chop I've ever fried, honestly. Like, it's got the crisp, and I think it's cooked inside, so nice. Wow, oh my god. The spinach with the garlic and salt actually tastes amazing. Actually tastes really good. Wow. Like, I miss this feeling. I miss this flavor. And the pork chop actually cooked pretty nice. And juicy too. A little oily, but you know what? Welcome to America. Then with the pasta. Hidden garlic. All right,
time now is 11:25 p.m. So interesting events. So I had dinner, and it was actually quite nice. It was good pork chop, good stuff. And then after washing all the plates and all the pans and pots, it's already 9:30 as always. It always ends at 9:30. I don't know why. Like 9:30-ish. So I did my chemistry homework, my lab, and it was not that easy, but that's good because I hate doing easy math and easy chem. Like it just makes me feel stupid. So finished it within like 40 minutes, and some random dude on Discord suddenly DM'd me, and he said, "Hi, I'm from the chem class too. Have you done question 5?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And then 40 minutes later, I've done it, and I talked about it and I explained it. So that's pretty cool. And then he asked me if I've done questions 1 and 3, and I said, "Yeah." Like I just started an hour ago, and I've already finished the whole thing. Okay, but tomorrow's plans, so this is gonna be quite the interesting, because here's the thing. My plan for tomorrow is I'm gonna wake up early again, unfortunately. I'm gonna take the bus to the church, to Union Station, and then since it's really close by, I think I'll either just walk to the church or straight up just take another bus. It's fine. It's free. It's free. It's fucking free. I got the tap card. It's free. And I can just listen to music on the way, and I could bring a charging, a portable charger. It's cool. Um, but for the last few days, there has been commotion in the Sunday School Bible Fellowship WhatsApp group. And by commotion, I mean there has been like WhatsApp messages where it's basically like announcements on what to do on tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 70th anniversary of the church, and the church is organizing this huge thing where you can pay for the lunch there, and they will give you lunch. But I had no idea about this. Like I have some idea, but I wasn't so clear about this at all. So I didn't do anything about it, right? And then there's this chain of messages where a bunch of people volunteer to hand out lunches, hand out lunch boxes, starting from 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. And yeah, and then recently, just like half an hour ago ish, 15 minutes ago, I just saw another message from the WhatsApp group announcing that tomorrow the Bible study fellowship would be canceled, and we're going to have lunch in a classroom instead. And if I haven't ordered lunch from the church, I will have to buy it myself from somewhere, God knows where. Um, I mean, yeah, buying lunch is to be expected. I'm not gonna like make people pay for me because that's rude. And the pastors have already paid lunch for me for so many freaking times, more than I would be happy to receive. I mean, I'm happy to receive, but like man, you're just too kind. So, buying lunch for myself is fine, but the issue here is the fellowship is canceled, which means that maybe the whole thing will happen earlier. B, if I go all the way to the church just to have just to buy lunch there and have a lunch there, and then somebody drives me back home, or I take a bus back home, then what's the point of leaving in the first place? What's the frickin' point? Um, like I can just stay the whole day at the Airbnb. Besides, I've left my apartment, left this Airbnb for 4 days in a row already, which is not much because I'm in the USA now, and going out every single day is to be expected, I guess, especially when you're in LA when things happening left and right. But But still, like, I kind of want to take a rest. I'm super sleepy and tired. But then again, maybe it's a good idea to go out and have lunch with people because it's been a while since I've, eaten a meal with someone. When's the last time I've eaten a meal with someone? Actually, it's yesterday with lunch with D and his wife. But I'm just trying to say that it's few and far between. Like, I don't get to eat food with people anymore. Like, back in the Hong Kong days, I get to have dinner with my family, or at least with my brother and helper, almost every single night. Almost. Some nights I eat alone because I'm late. Like, I go out of my bedroom late. But still, like, there's always people around the food. But nowadays, most of the time, I'm all by myself. I cook the breakfast, I eat it myself. I cook the lunch, I eat it myself. And okay, again, this is not as. Would I rather sleep and rest, or would I rather spend like 1.5 hours going to some random faraway place just to have lunch with some people and then come back? You know? Probably the former. But I also need to say that, you know what? This is a dilemma and a half. I'm going to call my mom and talk about this, but I already know what my mom's going to say. My mom's going to tell me to go tomorrow, regardless, because church is super important to her. In fact, a couple weeks ago, my mom found out about this Christian fellowship in UCLA that a lot of people outside of UCLA also joined, and it's all East Asians, Asian Americans, and East Asians in general, especially like Chinese. And my mom told me that it would be really helpful because they could help me move and we could have hiking activities. It's always hiking, it's always about the hikes, And my mom also said that. So my mom found out about this through friends, I guess, and my mom and her friend told her that this is a really serious Christian fellowship group. Like, no dating allowed, and no naughty stuff, no like breaking the law or whatever. Like, this is real deal. And my mom told me, oh, my son's fine. My son doesn't do any of that. That's true. I don't do any of that. I don't smoke weed. I haven't had a girlfriend before, but why would I go to LA just to continue this lifestyle? And I'm not saying I want to break the law and just destroy the world, but I want to live a little too, meet people, maybe find a date. Again, that's super far in the future. Maybe that'll never happen, and I don't know. I don't know about this, but I gotta live a little, like swear words. At least I could say that. Maybe I could. In USA the drinking age is 21, but in Hong Kong I can totally drink. In Hong Kong the age is 19. It's 18. I'm not gonna take drugs, but just live a little, man. Just go out in the middle of the night, explore. I know it's dangerous, but live a little. So I honestly, genuinely do not want to join that Christian fellowship group. That's not of any interest to me whatsoever. All right, apartment searches. So right, level 1, back to the video game allegory. Level 1, we got food, which I'm handling tomorrow. In fact, I will go to Ralph's because I have to go tomorrow because I'm running out of toilet paper and like, and by running out, I mean I have like 1/3 of a roll left, so I need to go to Ralph's ASAP. And I already made a little shopping list on my Google spreadsheet already. I got the new meats. I want a new fish. No beef, too expensive. I would like to buy another garlic. Mushrooms if I can find some. Half a pie, if there is any, because I love pies. Woo. You get the idea. But yeah, about tomorrow's plans, I have no idea. But one thing for sure is, because I was discussing with Thomas the Chinese Dude last Wednesday night about what to do with the 5-minute short film that I'm going to submit to USC. And I said, okay, instead of thinking of what the story is, let's not do that. I'm broke. I'm an immigrant. I have no one here. I don't know anyone. I don't know anywhere. And the best way to go about this is actually to assess what is available to me first. And guess what's available to me? Friends? Some college friends, but also those people at the Chinatown church. And what's also available to me? Chinatown church! The Chinatown, that area. So maybe someday in a weekday, in a holiday or whatever, I and several people will probably take a bus all the way there, or if somebody drives, that would be great, and find a spot in Chinatown and film my short film. And it has to be Chinatown because I need to sell myself. And what's my selling point? What is my greatest selling point? Okay, let's imagine you are part of USC. You work for the admission people in USC. You're some old dude or some old woman, or maybe not so old, but you know, you've been in LA for most of your life. You watch tons of movies and you watch tons of student short films. You want something new and refreshing. Immigrant, and not just anywhere. European immigrant, okay. African immigrant, okay. Hong Kong immigrant, okay. But the point is, I need to emphasize that I'm from Hong Kong because I'm an immigrant, and that is what's unique about me in this situation. In America, being a Hong Konger and not American is unique, okay? Or should I say special, not unique, but special. And I need to really exploit the hell out of the fact that I'm an immigrant, like really exploit it and then sell myself. And I also want to work on my strong suits, and I don't do comedies or romance. So I'm going to focus on fantasy and thrillers, maybe even horror. So Chinatown, fantasy, thriller, horror, about 5 minutes. That's where I'm going to start. And the people who can help me is, guess what? Jonah and his friends from the Chinatown church. So maybe tomorrow I can go and I can talk to them, make friends, and I can mention this, and maybe they would be able to help me. Which makes me seem kind of manipulative. I'm wasting so much time and money and effort just to convince some people to help me, just so that I could get into the university that I want to go to. Not because I'm friendly, but I'm friendly. And I do think they're very nice, especially Jonah, who helped me move. But, I don't know. I'm gonna call my mom. Fuck.